We are back for 2018 to preview the second leg of the Gippsland Carnival. It's the 2018 TAB Group 2 Warragul Cup. And James, this is following up from a huge night at Sale on Boxing Day, and I know you did pretty well there.
Yeah, look, it was a good night on the punt Boxing Day with a quick Jagger getting home as it turned out. Look, the big 2017 rolls into 2018 straight away. We've got the first Country Cup on the calendar. It's the Warragul Cup, and this race always has depth, always has class, and we see a really good field assembled, chasing some really good prize money as well.
Absolutely, $67,000. It's all happening on Saturday night, but let's take a look at the TAB odds and box draw. In box 1, Black Mumbo $4.80. In 2, Cooter Mayhem $5.50. In 3, Tiempo Dinero $41. In 4, Shadale $9.50. In 5, Aston DB $2.50. In 6, Jimmy Neewob $7. In 7, Northern Nangar $18. And in box 8, Aston Miley $5. The 2 reserves, Crook Me Kindly and Data Star. James, let's begin with box 1, which is Black Mumbo. We saw 6 heats were run last Friday night. So how do we get this 8? We got this 8
with the 6 winning greyhounds and the 2 fastest runners up, and this is the field, and it's a high quality field. Starting with 1 Black Mumbo. This greyhound 6 months ago was in career best form. He's probably not going just as well at the moment, but he loves it here at Warragul. He's got a great record at the track and distance. 25.86 was the time he ran last week. He needs to go faster, but box number 1 brings him right into calculation.
Okay, Cooter Mayhem.
Thought Cooter Mayhem was a really good run as well. First go at Warragul this greyhound had last week, went 25.72. Now, looked a little bit lost on the home corner, so I think the greyhound will show improvement. Went good through the mark, 6.48, 11.24, and I thought was pretty strong as well, 25.72. There was some big guns around as they turned for home, and he just kept finding, and he's found himself in another group final. Also in that heat was number 7, Northern Nangar. Now, he's a young pup with a big motor. I don't think there's a great deal between he and Cooter Mayhem, but he's drawn pretty tough out in box number 7.
Okay, now I find this one pretty interesting. A $41 outsider in box 3.
Yeah, Tiempo Dinero. This is a greyhound I really like the look of, to be honest. Went 6.44 to the first mark, 11.14, a little bit like Cooter Mayhem first up at the track. I just thought looked a little bit lost at the home corner. Form prior was really good. We'll touch on him a little bit later on, but from box number 3, I think he's good value.
Okay, and what about Shadale?
Shadale, this greyhound got not a nice clear run. He found a little bit of trouble in the early part of his race, but once he got clear and he was close enough, he was all too good, running 25.67. I just figure from box 4 he's probably not going to get into the same spot, but he's definitely got the strength, but potentially just not the speed.
Okay, and the favourite, Aston DB?
Well, Aston DB, this is the first time we've seen him in a group final for some time, drawn a tough box. He's got box number 5, so he's a star greyhound. He was so dominant in his heat from box number 1. He won the Melbourne Cup at the end of last year. He dominated in the Ballarat Cup, and he was so impressive in a heat of this Warragul Cup. So if anything goes his way, he will need luck from 5, but he's obviously going to be a genuine contender.
Okay, and Jimmy Neewob?
Jimmy Neewob, really liked the effort from Jimmy last week, and that was first up for the Greeno kennel as well. So change of scenery's obviously served the greyhound well. He ran in the Ballarat Cup late last year, and I think from box number 6, he's a little bit of a smoky. It's a tough draw, but he's a genuine chance as well.
Okay, and finally, box 8, Aston Miley.
Well, Aston Miley, she's a golden little girl, isn't she? Eddie Lieshout, Mary, the team, they'll be cheering loudly for Aston Miley. I feel she's been unlucky with her box draws, though. She's drawn the pink. I just love to see her draw near the rail in one of these big races, but she was impressive in her heat, 25.66. The question mark is, can she cross down to the rail the way she did in her heat when she's got so much class and speed underneath?
Okay, well, there's definitely a bit of value in this field, so how are you going to do your selections?
Yeah, well, my selections, I've looked for value because I think Aston DB's worth taking on this week from box number 5. I think there's enough speed around him that he could get caught back in the field, and I'm going to take the favourite on. My numbers for the Warragul Cup, 3, 2, 6 and 5. And yep, you hear right, Ali. I'm going Tiempo Dinero at $41 with tab.com.au. Look, I just think the greyhound, he showed enough in Victoria already that I think he's going to be a big player here. For second, I've gone with the 2 Cooter Mayhem. Now, this greyhound just kept going in the heat. I think he seems to handle pressure pretty well lately. He's beginning well, the pressure's coming to him, but he's responding, and I like the way he's doing that. For third, number 6, Jimmy Neewob, I think he's the smoky of the field. He just looks to be in really good nick. It was a dominant heat win, and for fourth, I've gone the 5 Aston DB, just based on his class. I just couldn't leave him out, but I think he's worth taking on the each ways. Okay, what about your $20 suggested bet? Is Tiempo Dinero in this one as well? This is my chance to speak a little bit more and justify Tiempo Dinero. I'm just going to go $10 each way because I've worked out I think that's almost a $500 $500 collective. You have $10 each way, and Tiempo Dinero gets home.
Nice way to start everyone's 2018, wouldn't it?
I'm hoping it can start us on the right foot. But what I like about Tiempo Dinero, the greyhound's had 3 runs here in Victoria. Now, first up at Bendigo, came from a hopeless spot, 4 wide at the corner, but just accelerated through the line. Now, second up, this is the run I really want to take a look at as we see it. Now, this greyhound got a mile back from box number 2, but at the halfway mark, shifted to the outside and just let go with a withering burst down the outside. Now, the reason I'm showing these 2 replays and his strength is because we wind the clock back to his heat run, in which he showed really good early speed. He looked a little bit lost on the home corner and he got overhauled late, but we know from his previous starts he's a strong greyhound, and at $41, I think he can go bang. You
have done your homework on that one. So I hope for 2018 the punters out there and you can back this one.
Well, I'm only hoping so. We're rushing to tab.com.au to get on Tiempo Dinero.
Absolutely. At $41, who wouldn't? It's going to be a great night out at Warragul this Saturday night for the Group 2 TAB Warragul Cup. We'll see you there. And for all the best form guides, you can head online to grv.org.au.